I believe in a strong financial sector that helps people to raise capital and get loans and invest their savings. That's part of what has made America what it is. But a free market was never meant to be a free license to take whatever you can get, however you can get it.
US President Barack Obama there speaking on Wall Street, clarifying to the country's top bankers he is not against the free market. Jim Rogers and Kirby Daly still with us. Guys, isn't this the key question for investors, whether the US is still a free market? If you listen to the Democrats, the bill being debated is about institutionalising taxpayer bailouts. Do you think, Kirby, first up, that we are seeing, despite what Obama is saying, Wall Street being squeezed by the big arm of government?
Look, we're made to believe that that's what we're seeing because that's what's politically palatable right now, and this administration is all about style over substance, and that's what we saw in healthcare, and that's what we're going to see here. We have 1,335 pages right now of a bill. No one knows what's inside it, and to force that thing through is as stupid as forcing through the healthcare. We will pay for that for years to come until we figure out what's in there. There is no need to rush into this. And if you've been listening to me, I'm calling for stronger regulation than probably is what's in that bill. I'm not saying no regulation, but we need to do it right, and forcing it down the throats of Americans because it's politically palatable and right now is the window to do it politically is the wrong thing to do.
Kirby, this whole abacus thing came up at just the wrong time. He's got the political gumption to get this through now as a result.
Exactly, and then the timing, whatever the timing was, that is exactly what's happening. All these events are forcing this issue, and there should be more thoughtful debate on it. There are a lot of things in there that we've seen anecdotes of that could be very damaging, that don't help the fundamental problem of systemic risk.
Yeah, Jim, come in here. I hate to disagree with you, but in fact, I don't mind disagreeing with you, as you know. But the idea we need more regulation is ludicrous, Kirby. We need competent regulators. We have plenty of regulations. Everything that happened in the past came from regulated industries. Insurance, banking, mortgages, all of these industries are regulated already. It's the incompetent regulators that's the problem. The SEC went to see Mr. Madoff 6 times in 12 years, and every time said, he's fine, there's no problem. And all these skeptics, they don't know what they're talking about. We know what we're talking about. It was the regulated industries which have caused the problems. You don't need more regulators. You need regulation. You need competent regulators. Now, the problem is, of course, nobody wants to go down to Washington to be a regulator except the incompetents.
That is wrong, and I can't disagree with that. What I'm saying is, I guess when I say regulation, what I fundamentally disagree with is the way the system got out of control after Glass-Steagall was repealed, and I think that we need to rethink that. And that's not necessarily regulation. We're talking about how the system is set up there and where the entities are held and how that relates to systemic risk. I'm not necessarily talking about dumping a lot more regulations on top of things, but it didn't work after the repeal of Glass-Steagall. We need to go back and think that through. And that isn't necessarily what's being talked about in this bill.
But Kirby, as Karen says, what is the United States now? The United States is no longer a free market. The United States is probably more socialist than China these days. I mean, the United States, they own the automobile industry, they own all these industries. I mean, in America now, there's socialism for the rich. It's welfare for the rich is what the system is. If people get into trouble, they call up their friends in Washington and say, bail me out. And Washington does. That's the problem, Kirby. Had they let people go bankrupt instead of propping everybody up under Greenspan for the past 15 years, we wouldn't have these problems now. That's the problem.
Exactly. And that's what I've been saying all
friends.
along. Let them go down. Let them go down. I'm with you. I've been saying that the entire time. Exactly.
Whoa. Okay, guys.
But that's the part of the bill that I hate as well, the institutionalized bailouts. We hear from the president that's not what the bill is about, but he doesn't go into any details of how that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
We need more substance. It is what it's about.
All right, listen, guys. We're lucky the two gentlemen are in different places today.
Yeah.